With that, I would also like to introduce another dear friend of mine. Miss Eva Toby is an author, a speaker. She's the founder and owner of Xtended Expressions. She presents on different media outlets, on fashion, on style. You know, that's why she's always looking so good, because she's representing very well. So I'd like her to come talk to us about her passion, her new book she just released, The Purpose Factor, her motivation behind it, and to give us some additional wisdom tips. With that, please meet Miss Eva Toby.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Oh, the lights. Hello. Yes, purpose. Thank you. You're kind of all in line, Mr. Muhammad, with my whole movement. Just like my bro said, my name's Eva. A lot of people call me Bookie. That's my Nigerian name, Eva Toby. And I am the newly author of The Purpose Factor. Very excited. We released it about 2 weeks ago. We had an event September 1st. The Purpose Factor, why is that so important? First, let me ask everyone a question. When you think of purpose, what do you think of? Anyone? The reason why we're here. Anyone else? When you hear purpose. Any others? Okay. Say it again. Explanation? Yes. Okay. So why we're here and explanations. Again, when I think of purpose, sort of basically what you all just summarized, you know, it's really based on the reason as to why we were created, the intent of why God created us. And the beautiful part about it is that each and every one of us here, outside driving the road, has purpose. Would you all agree? Some of us have found it. Some of us are still on a journey. And I like how Mr. Muhammad used those words, because that's always my catchphrase, the journey continues. Because we're all on a journey, sort of like you said, from that conception onward until it's done. And I always am of the mindset, if you have a pulse, guess what? You still have a purpose and a plan. There's a unique purpose and plan for your life. So the Purpose Factor was pretty much born. And what happened was, maybe about 2 years ago, I was asked to speak to the youth at my church about like how to be successful and, you know, walk with purpose, and just based on like my experience traveling the world, being a presenter with the auto show. Just talk to the youth, so, you know, kind of put a little fire up their tail, you know, because, you know, teenagers can be sometimes. And so I had like 7 points. Okay, this is what you need to do. You know, you need to get clear, network, blah, 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 this and that, this and that. And literally after that, 2 years ago, put it away. And I put it in my Bible. And I didn't realize it was in my Bible till my family and I experienced a tragedy last year where we lost one of my very dearest cousins. It was like a brother to me, Thomas Toby, who the book is actually dedicated to. And I remember being in such a dark place. Like, I just felt like I didn't have purpose. Like, what is life? You know, what? I was just so anxious. Then I became very anxious. I was angry, then I became anxious. Like, everyone that I met, I'm like, are you doing what you need to do? Are you doing what you, like, hurry, 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 hurry. Like, it was like too much. But because I was just like, you're here and then you're gone. And we all have a unique purpose, so we don't want to make sure that we're wasting it, because in an instant, life can just be taken away from you just like that. And I remember being in a dark place, didn't read my Bible for like weeks. I talk about it in the book. And I remember my mom's like, no, you got to start somewhere. You got to like pray. Like, first time ever in my life, like I just didn't pray for like weeks, and just had just nothing. I was just empty. And I remember opening my Bible up, and guess what fell out? Those notes. And I was always thinking like, yeah, I want to write a book, but I was looking at the perspective of, yes, my life on the road is a model, traveling, being a presenter. And then it was like, nope, this is what I need to talk about. And literally, the Purpose Factor was born, and I just built upon that. And I said, I want everyone to hear this, because I want everyone. I'm always passionate about other people's passion. And if you know me, you'll know that, like, if you have an idea, okay, you're interested in this, and I'm like all in, like, that's just me, you know, because again, that's something has been planted in you, you know, and I just want to help you to maximize that, encourage that. And then the Purpose Factor was born by the grace of God. And like I said, it's dedicated to my cousin. And it was even in his passing during that whole just moment that my family and I realized, like, wow, like, I mean, it was like thousands of people there. And we just heard the things people were saying and how passionate ambitious my cousin was, and I've always known him, of course, since birth, but it just further just confirmed, like, yes, my cousin definitely, he lived with purpose, whether he knew it or not, and he indeed lived to inspire. That's another one of my mantras. Like, we need to make sure we're living to inspire, because guess what? When it comes to purpose, this is another thing, too. It's not just about us, because guess what? Someone is waiting on you to do what you need to do along that journey so then that you, too, can be a destiny helper for them, and so on and so forth. You get what I mean? So it's like, well, if you're just stagnant, guess what? You're taken away from the person that's waiting for you. You may not know it, but you're taken away from that person. So hence, we all need to assure that we are walking and living in our purpose. Because another thing, too, when you do that, your life will be so fulfilled and meaningful. It's not always about money. Money is good, but it's not always about money. I know people, and I talk about that in the book, doctors, millionaire, like making money. But guess what? They're miserable. Because that's not what they really wanted to do. They're not walking in their purpose. They were either forced to do it or because society said it was okay, and then now they're, even years later, they went through everything, but they're just like, They still have a burning passion and desire for something else. And that's what the purpose factor is for. Identify that and start walking in that. Don't worry, the money, all the blessings, all that stuff will come. But guess what? You'll be so fulfilled because you're walking in what it is God created you and I to do. And another thing, too, don't worry about what Sister A is doing or Sister B. That's okay. You have your own lane. I call it the 3G lane, God-given gift lane. You have your own lane. And once you're walking in that lane, God will supply you and you'll just flourish because guess what? It's your lane, right? It's not her lane. You're not worrying like, why is she doing that? You don't need to worry about that. Because that's her purpose. That's her destiny. You have your own journey. We all have a unique journey to which we should be walking in. Hence, the purpose factor. So I'm very passionate about it. I hope it can be inspiring for you. That was my whole thing. I was like, Lord, when I was writing it, it's been, again, almost a year. Actually, a year. And I just said, you know, it's not even about me. I wasn't even thinking of numbers. And I just said I want it to be a blessing and inspiration for someone. And already I've gotten calls and text messages from people in Nigeria like, yes, you know, I'm so glad, like that one point when we talked about comfort zone, and I know you talked about that too. I talk a lot about that. There's no growth in your comfort zone. The person was like, you know what, when I read that, it was just further confirmation that I do need to get out of my comfort zone because there's no growth. You know, another person was like, yes, you know, I'm such a shy person, but I realize I do need to network. Because I talk a lot about that. It's a chapter, actually, about networking, the power of networking, and just getting clear and clearing your mind and planning and vision boards and just so much just information just about my own journey, my struggles, my highs, my lows, that I just kind of deposited into that book. And hopefully it can be a blessing to each and every one of you. Fair enough? With a round of applause, how many people feel you found your purpose? You feel you found it? Okay, stump your feet if you haven't found it. Okay, everyone's found it. That's awesome. But still get the book, though. I'm like, because that's the beauty about it, too. Because I talk about, like, again, just like I mentioned, it's for people that may have not known, or it's steps also in there to help you stay empowered and self-motivating. Because will we all agree that life can take its toll, and you can get distracted, and yeah, you're walking in your purpose, and then something happens, and oh, great. Setback. So I have steps in there about how to just stay empowered and continue to self-motivate yourself to continue to walk along that journey. So again, you can be a blessing to others and also too so that you too can be fulfilled along this journey. We all want to live with purpose and we all want to live to inspire because it's more, the picture is bigger than us. At the end of the day, the picture is bigger than us. And in my cousin's passing, I saw that clear, like people, grown men, crying and saying how literally he gave the shirt off his back when that person was in need. So hopefully, again, this can be a blessing to each and every one of you. So I want to thank you so much for your time, for the opportunity to talk about it. The cool part is that during this launch period, it's all about giving back, right? Paying forward. Sales, 50% of the proceeds of the book are going towards the Food Click, which is a nonprofit organization out of Nigeria whose mission is to feed hungry children, women, families. So again, we're giving them a chance at hope and purpose when you purchase that. So it's not wasted at all. So thank you so much for your time. Any questions? Any questions, comments, concerns? For those that people feel you found your purpose, did you find it right away? Yes. You have it? Oh, okay. You were one of the stumping the feet? Oh, fair enough. But that's okay. That's okay, though. I appreciate your transparency and your honesty. Not all of us have found this. Some of us are still, like I said, it wasn't till, like I said, real recently, because sort of my background, I know my brother kind of covered it. Let's see. I have a master's in social work, psychology, and then I recently obtained an MBA. So I worked with the state for like about a long time, a couple years, 8 years or so. And I was always a presenter, though, on the side, part-time. So I travel with Chevrolet, presenting on the new cars that are coming out. And then maybe like around 2011, I took the bold step. It was rough. Imagine going from a very steady, comfortable government job and then saying, you know what, I just want to go out on my own and just discover myself and see what's out there. And it took a while. I thought about it maybe in like 2009 and then literally 11, January 7th, 2011. That's when I said bye-bye. And I left the corporate world or the typical 9 to 5 and just have been on a journey since then. And then here we are, September 17, 2015. Never would have thought I'd have written a book. That wasn't even like, or even doing stuff on the media with Genevieve Magazine out of Nigeria. So it just shows you, again, once you take away that fear, because I had a lot of fear. You know, I had a lot of fear. I was comfortable. I had a steady income, good benefits, everything. I was very comfortable. But once I got out of that comfort zone, I began to see the growth. So remember, there's no growth in your comfort zone. Sort of like Mr. Mahaba was saying. Again, that's one of the, I like how you said it's a drug, one of the hardest drugs to overcome, comfort. And it's true. We get so comfortable and it's like, oh, no, 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 no. But you won't experience growth if you're constantly in that comfort zone. So that's what I did, and then here we are today. Like you said, I have Xtended Expressions, Street Style with Genevieve Magazine, and now, by the grace of God, the book. So I'm very thankful for that. So hopefully this can charge something up in each of one of you out there that may have been thinking about doing something, whatever the case may be. Hopefully it encourages you. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.